Section 5.8 is last section of chapter 5. Since we understand how to do factoring now, in this section we show you application of factoring in solving equations. So solve the equation x2 plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. So what we can do, we could use trinomial factoring method, especially if you don't have any number here in front. So we open two parentheses, two numbers whose multiplication is 10, and when you add is 7. When you solve the equations, first of all, you want to make sure you always have 0 on the right side. So to solve any equation, you should have all the terms on one side and then equal to 0. Again, so make sure you have a 0 on this side. Now, what number would make the whole thing 0? -5, because if you put -5 here, -5 plus 5 is 0, and 0 multiplied any number is 0. So -5 or -2 are the answers. So what you do is you take each parenthesis, you set it equal to 0, and you solve it for x. These are solution of equations. Because as I said, if you check, if you take any of these numbers and substitute for x, the outcome is 0. See, if I take -2 and substitute, because this is 0, the outcome is 0. That's how you could check. So first, you factor this, you make sure you have equal to 0, and then you take each parenthesis and set it equal to 0. So next equation, solve. So to solve the equation, again, you want to make sure that you have all the term in one side and equal to 0. The very first thing I need to do is move positive 9z to this side, so that become minus 9z. See, now on the right side, I have 0. Again, if I use method of factoring, I need to find two numbers whose multiplication is 8 or positive 8, and when you add algebraically is -9. So that would be -8 and -1. And then you take each parenthesis equal to 0, and that gives you your value. So there are two numbers here. In order to solve the equation, I need to bring all the terms to one side and set it equal to 0. If I use my calculator, 0 divided by negative 0 is 0. So x is 0. So there is a solution, and solution is x equals 0. Don't say there is no solution. 0 is also a number. This one is already factored for you. So all I need to do is take each parentheses and set it equal to 0. Again, it's already factored. I need to have all the terms in one side and equal to 0. So you need to move 9y to this side. And what is the first method of factoring? Factor y out. And now y2 minus 9, remember this formula, if you have difference of two perfect square, is a minus b times a plus b. And here you have 9 is 3 to the power of 2, right? So you could break this one. All right, so there are three answers. Look, y equals 0, y equals 3, and y equals minus 3. There are three answers because the highest power of y also is 3. So sometimes the power would indicate number of possible answers. Y3, 1, 2, 3 answers. Is already factored for you. So all I need to do is take each parentheses and set it equal to 0. See, this problem we already factored for you. This one you need to do factor. So open the parentheses, x and x, find two numbers whose multiplication is negative 21. And when you subtract is negative 4. Negative 7 and positive 3. See? So x is always opposite sign, because when you set it equal to 0, when you put x minus 7 equal to 0, then x is 7. Or when you put x plus 3 equal to 0, x is opposite. Again, remember, you have to bring 36. You always want to have equation, everything on one side equal to 0. So I move 36 to the other side. You understand, that means you just put negative 36, okay? Same thing. So two numbers whose multiplication is negative 36, and when you subtract is 5, so then you take each equal to 0. Very similar to the one we did. I'll bring 108 to the other side. Then I use the first method of factoring. They all have 2r in common, so I factor that. Then in the parentheses, you could also factor this one, trinomial. See? Then you take each of these equal to 0. Look, 2 doesn't matter here. So it's r equal to 0, r equal to 6, r equal to negative 9. See, 3 answers. Don't forget this r. You could write it as r minus 0 in the parentheses if you want, but this also is one of the answers, r equals 0. Again, see the highest power is 3. There are 3 answers. Something is wrong. 8 equal to 0. Now, no solution. See, you are not even able to find the value of, see, you don't have any z, and 8 equal to 0, no, there is no solution. Again, to solve the equation, we gotta bring everything to the left. Group factoring. Remember, when we find the y plus 3, we take it and put it there. All I need to do is figure what number times y is minus 36y. Obviously, it's negative 36. So now I have y2 minus 36 times y plus 3 equal to 0. Now, right there, they both are in the perfect square. This one, remember this formula, a2 minus b2, which is a minus b times a plus b. You use it for this one. See, now there are 3 parentheses. I'll take each of these parentheses, set it equal to 0. So answer is always opposite sign. Again, you see the power of 3? There are 3 answers. Move negative x to this side. Factor x out, the first method of factoring. X equals 0 is one of the numbers. X equal minus half is the second one. So remember, when you switch a number or variable from one side to the other side, all you need to do is change the sign. Like if this is positive, it's negative. This is positive, it's negative. To get rid of the denominator, I multiply all the terms by 20. Means that you just put a 20 next to each of this, see what happens. See, that's how you could get rid of denominator. Now, this is one of those trinomial that it has a number before x2. So you need to find two numbers whose multiplications. It's minus 20. And when you subtract, is positive 1. It's positive 5 and negative 4. So here, then we change 1x to, remember, we change it to the group factoring. Instead of 1x, I write 5x minus 4x. And then group factoring is see, that's how you come up with those answers. Now we have these problems. One positive number exceed another by 5. So here we are talking about two numbers. One is x, one is y. It said the product of these two is 84. Means when you multiply these two is 84, okay? And one exceed the other one by 5. You see that? So all I need to do is take this x, which is y plus 5, and substitute for the x here at the top equation. So instead of saying x times y, you just say y plus 5 times y, see? And now I distribute y, move 84 to this side. Trinomial, two numbers whose multiplication is 84. You come up with two answers. Remember, when you are talking about positive number, he said we are talking about the positive numbers, so y cannot be negative. You don't want that one. You take this. Y is 7. If y is 7, if one of the number is 7, what is the other one? Always 5 more. So it's 7 and 12. So when you're working on word problems, sometimes, based on what we state in the problems, you may not accept a negative number, like in this case. It's another one. the cost for manufacture of X is given. Cx is X2 minus 18X plus 32. They are saying the Cx is given in the problems is 8,600. So I put 8,600 here because it's given in the problems. They are asking us to find the X. How many units did we sell? So then I'll bring 8,600 to that side. So it would be 8,600, and then I subtract 32 from it. That gives me 8,568. Now, two numbers whose multiplication is 8,568. It's not that easy to find. So it's 102 and 84. So when you take each of this equal to 0, this one gives you X equal minus 84. Cost cannot be negative. So we just accept this one, which is 102. And then the last one, there is a rectangle which is 18 by 10, but then we are adding X to both sides. We don't know what the X is, but look, now the width is what is it from here to here? What's the length from here to here? Is 10 plus X, or 10 plus 2X. Or what is the total length here now? You already have 10 and you're adding X and X. I'm sorry, this is 18. You have 18, right? From here to here is 18. And then you're adding X and X, so it would be 18 plus 2X. So here would be 10 plus X, and this is 18. This is an area of this one, the big one. The large rectangle this is the area. Remember, the area is always length multiplied by width. The new rectangle now is 10 plus 2X from here to here, and 18 plus 2X from there to there, right? But if we take this area, if we take this area, the area of this rectangle, this rectangle is 18 times 10, or 180. So from the total area, you take area of this red rectangle, and the difference is given in the problem, is 128. So 128 is a difference of area of the large rectangle and the red rectangles. Now I need to solve these equations. Well, to make it easier, I see that 10 plus 2X, they both have 5 in common, so I have 2 in common, so I factor that. 18 and 2 have 2, I factor that, so 2 times 2 is 4. Divide both sides by 4, 308 divided by 4 is 77. Now you distribute. You end up having a trinomial, two numbers whose multiplication is 32 and minus 32. To answer, minus 16 and 2. I don't take minus 16 because the length must be positive. So X is 2 inches. So this is last section of chapter 5.